That's why it was happening.
Yeah, political analyst, thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining me. Listen, ODM leader Raila Odinga recently said that a political tsunami is on the way and would sweep his rivals come the 2022 presidential election. Raila said that he is currently building a strong team that will win the 2022 general election. I want us to listen to part of what he had to say.
Ni machine mwalo soka kwa walo socha en machine mapeg mokeno kago korikucha kago kunekucha tuporo gine jemaringa kamano gikia gi mabiro nitie kalausi mabiro malicha henya ulo lokre tsunami mithuro iye Okay, I'm
told Kalausi is whirlwind. Gentlemen, listening into Raila Odinga, let me start with you, Weda. He's talking about a political tsunami. He's saying they're going to put up a team like no other, and he says that nobody has an idea what's coming their way. From where you sit and listening into what Raila has been saying over the last couple of months and the meetings he has had, and of course that talk that perhaps Jubilee and ODM will work together, and there's even talk of them presenting one presidential candidate in 2022, what sort of tsunami is he referring to, if at all?
Linda, Baba, occasionally he loves doing what I would call in Luo, hadawaj. You see, talking of big things, nobody can stop reggae, you can't do this. At this stage where things are, all he needs to do is to trust in Jehovah himself. Trust and say, God, this time, may we have a team that will be able to deliver the presidency to him. Instead of threatening tsunami, nobody can stop reggae, and even when he says nobody can stop reggae, and I'm here saying, I'm a lawyer and I'm an expert, and I know these things I can read, I also pray, the court will stop this thing. They never had. Until it is too late. I said it 1,000 times.
Yeah, you said the only thing
even now, he is talking about a tsunami.
Yeah.
Instead of talking about the bridges that he will build, he say, I am cajoling President Uhuru, I'm cajoling who, I'm cajoling Kalonzo, I'm cajoling Mudavadi, I'm cajoling the likes of Weda. People bring technical know-how, knowledge, so that the president is delivered. He's not going to funerals and threatening people. Yet, the other day, yesterday, I was in Kiamba. I was going around also seeing how I will campaign in 2032. And I can tell you that if my president Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta is not careful, the seat may go to UDA. There must be pouring in on resources and people and the math, because I talked to quite a number of young men at the stage and various stages, Banana, all these places. And you can see genuinely they have issues, although those issues are not on the table, but the chief chancellor can easily disappear with that seat, and it will be humiliating, it will be embarrassing. So Baba, instead of going to a funeral of a great man, Jacob Midiu, and then he starts threatening. He would have joined the president from the safari rally, from the funeral to the safari rally, and then to Kiamba, so that they start consolidating. There are people there who genuinely fear him. So I don't know this tsunami, what he's seeing. Either he's seeing the tsunami from the forest or from Gotramogi. But he needs to stop talking big and start acting big, grassroots, because otherwise this tsunami, it appears the chief chancellor can surprise them. And that when you say his own people will insult you, oh, you are always against Baba, and you tell them, I told them the court will do this, they are jumping. Until it was too late. Even now, I said in my Facebook page, I look at the bench. You have read their credentials.
Yes, the profiles.
I can tell you, it is not a walk in the park. Honorable Raila has to pray in All Saints Cathedral. Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has to go to St. Paul's. And if they go to the forest, there will be a problem. They have to do work. Otherwise, they'll continue crying.
And I like that point where you're saying you were in Kiamba and there were issues. And
yes.
Later in this bulletin, we'll talk about the state of Jubilee. Yes. We spoke to Deputy President Ruto. He said it's badly damaged. But Mudhuma, listening into Raila Odinga, he said there's a tsunami. And this points me in a way to that merger between Jubilee and ODM, and of course the fractured relationship between ODM leader Raila Odinga and NASA leaders. He's trying to craft a new political outfit, so to speak, specific one that he will use in 2022. He says it will be a tsunami. What are your thoughts?
Well, after a great week of Safari Rally, and you didn't want us to start from the Safari
We'll finish
Rally.
with Safari Rally.
You just wanted us to come to the tsunamis. Well, it's okay. There.
Yeah.
I won't lima Baba like the way Wakili has done.
Yeah.
But truth of the matter is, Linda, as we speak about the political horse, which I can tell you right now has already bolted. Truth of the matter is, yes, Baba has a mathematical chance to really win the presidency on two grounds. Yeah. One is usually strategy. Strategy, strategy, strategy. The other thing, which Weda keeps reminding us of, is the political energy. You need those, both of those. You need to combine them very well. And that's why I say, well, we've heard of the tsunami we heard of it in 2007, I think, 2008. We had the tsunami in 2013, 2017. It did not produce much. That is why I'm saying the strategy he has to employ, must come quite alive. And at this point, this is the time, like Weda has said, he has to start building his army. And more than anything, he needs, again, I agree with Weda to a certain extent, he needs to go slow on the talking and start doing more on grassroots. Because, yes, you're talking about putting up a team, but at the end of the day, who will run? Who will be the face of that political coalition? Who will that be? Will it be him, or is he going to say Baba Tosha? Or somebody else Tosha? Mm-hmm. Will Baba say somebody else Tosha?
And remember,
that to me is the, I kind of like it to call it the political poisoned chalice, because that is where the truth of this political whirlwind, if you will, is,
So clearly, this tsunami that he's talking about and this formidable team that he says they're going to put together will definitely, or may not, I know they say a day is a very long time in politics, but where does that leave the rest of the NASA guys? Who are the political
players, Linda? Who are the political players as we speak right now? You have Musalia, Honorable Musalia.
You have Musalia Mudavadi, yes.
You have, Honorable Senator Gideon Moi.
Yeah.
You have Kalonzo Musyoka, who have said they have to be stupid, Kalonzo. This is his word verbatim.
Yeah.
I have to be foolish to follow this man again. Honorable Musalia has said NASA is gone, is dead.
Okay, so Kalonzo is out, Mudavadi is
yes.
out.
Who else do you pick? I think Senator, Gideon Moi, they are still in the Core Kenya, alliance. Will they push that as a vehicle and maybe make coalitions, as we move towards, 2022? Is, right now, yes, what team? I would really like to see, what team is he talking about? Joho himself, Governor Joho has said he's going for the coveted prize as well.
And so, Raila says he supports him.
Well, supports who?
No, Raila said it's his democratic right.
That right? Is, but not in ODM. I don't think it will be in ODM. ODM, the candidate as we speak is Baba and Baba only. So then I think it's fair, if you're going to give these other politicians a chance to come to Baba's stage, I don't think there's anybody who can oust him at this point in the politics of ODM. But again, we have to wait and see, unless he surprises everybody and their uncle, Weda included, and says somebody else Tosha. That will be a surprise of the year.
Whether can he say somebody else is Tosha? And when we're talking about the tsunami and the team that he's talking about, and I know Musalia Mudavadi has said, no, Kalonzo Musyoka said I would have to be not in my right minds to support Raila Odinga without him giving something back in return. But what are the chances that perhaps, and you listened to Charity Ngilu the other day, and she was trying to sort of push them to come together again as NASA, and she said, you can only win if you're a team. Yeah? So what are your thoughts about perhaps the NASA team members coming up back together again and forming an entire team and saying, okay, we're going to do this in 2022?
Yes, I think you have to look at history briefly.
Okay.
On what basis did the Honorable Raila say Kibaki Tosha? Is it because he loved Kibaki, or he just woke up one day and said, aha, Emilio is now the best. Oh, hallelujah, economist. No.
Okay.
It was because he was between a rock and a hard place.
Okay.
What we call the devil and the deep blue sea. Kizungu kubwa. So, faced with a tsunami from the chicken seller, sweeping everybody out, including the son of Jomo Wangina.
Yeah.
They will unite. They will unite. They will say tosha to anybody as long as they defeat
the deputy president.
So that possibility is there. Let's talk about the coalition.
Okay.
As of now, I know still the Raila supporters are busy insulting Kalonzo, they are insulting Musalia. Yeah. They have this knack and love for insulting people. Anytime you tell them something they don't agree with, they insult you. You tell them the court will nullify this, they insult you. You tell them, tell Baba to trust in Jehovah, not in tsunamis or reggae. They insult me until it is too late. I am telling them, stop insulting these people. You may need them, including the chief chicken seller.
Huh?
Including the chief chicken seller. In this life, everything is possible.
But in any case, they worked together before.
Oh, definitely. It is easier to say, my brother, hold on, we amend the constitution. I do 5 years. We keep this country together. And I know if the son of Jomo Wangina moves into the house of Sauliam, and they laugh and they do what, you never know. Because I saw earlier in 2013 how things work. I saw it in 2017. Yeah. So let Raila Baba's supporters stop insulting people. They should stop separating you look like Sigoi. Because they should take their lead from the actions of the president. If you ask yourself today, has the president insulted his deputy? The answer is no.
Yeah, yeah.
Has he been very cantankerous against him? The answer is no. It is only Raila's people, and sometimes on the Raila, who is crying louder than the bereaved. It is the president who is supposed to be bereaved. But he doesn't seem to be bereaved. He's eating well. He has increased in weight. But these other guys, it is like it was their chicken which was stolen, which is wrong. So coalition, faced with a threat that they will be defeated.
In 2022? In
2022, by Sauliam, the chief chicken seller. I'm telling you, Musalia Mudavadi, Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, Dr. Wetangula, and President Uhuru will combine. But what Raila needs in the coalition now for it to work is the support of the president.
Which he has.
Which he has. He has to continue keeping it. But you see, they are erratic. Sometimes they go here, they want to do Tialala Tibim. You have to keep on telling them, please don't annoy the president with Tialala Tibim. It is late. If he has the president can easily rope in Kalonzo Musyoka. The president can easily roast the other people and then give them a framework.
Okay.
So once you have the president, you also have the resources. And also, you see the president has a red card. You have seen a goalkeeper, the referee. He can always award a red card when you are going to score. He can tell the chief chicken seller, and by the time you complain, it is over. So having the president is 50%. The other 30% strategy.
Okay.
And then the 20%, Jehovah himself.
I keep insisting on the strategy. When you talk about the strategy there, I'll support you 110%. Okay. Because, Linda, don't forget we also have this demography that actually, primarily, I call them the collegiates. These are the people who gave Obama the win. 2008. And you don't see them coming. They just creep up, all right? And you're talking about people who, and this is the demography I'm talking about. Yeah. Talking about people who are born between 2003, 2004.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
This is a very serious demography because you know what? They don't know who Baba is. They actually don't even know who Kalonzo is. They don't know who Musalia is. They are Jubilee babies. I call them Jubilee babies. They know two people. They know President Uhuru Kenyatta, and there is no Sir William Ruto.
That's it.
That is a very serious demography. And then you have come and combined something called the Hustler Nation. That's why I'm saying Baba needs a very great strategy. That demography, they are in millions. And you know, most of the time, and we saw it in 2013, don't forget, they usually go for people they feel, and sometimes it's not the right thing, but they go for people who they feel they are closer to, right? And that is why you saw two young, for the first time in the history of this country, we elected two young leaders. It's not because of a lot of other things. Yes, there were many other variables that came to play, but that demography, be afraid of it. These are 18-year-olds, 19, 20-year-old max.
Yeah.
When me and you are coming out of college, and whether he was already practicing law.
No, I am not ready.
You see. So that's what I'm saying. This,
22,
yes, these are people.
23.
These are people. Yes, exactly. These are kids who are born in 2003. Yeah. So in 2022, you can do the math. That's what I'm saying. You need a strategy to get them in. You need a strategy to rope them in, and it's not the usual rhetoric. You must talk their language. They must understand you. Otherwise.
In fact, if you listen to Baba, anytime he's doing a speech, he'll do very good. He's Piogama Pinto, then Piogama Pinto did this, then Jaramogi and Kenyatta went like this. Now, this other generation
have no idea what he's talking about.
They have no idea.
They say, Honorable Raila was detained 9 years. Why? Why was he detained? You understand? So when now we came with I believe, and dancing and good and say the TV and all these things.
Ruto, sorry, may God rest.
Because they identified.
They are solid, the turn of his.
Yes, they identified.
Yes, that group identified.
But even now Baba has gone deeper. As he talks, we need people to tell him, Baba, we need people to talk about Facebook. We need people to talk about
Twitter, yes.
Instagram.
The Facebook generation.
We need people Instagram. We need people who are walking like this and yippee.
And don't forget, the social media revolution, the Facebook revolution. Remember, they've actually turned the tide of so many countries.
Yes.
They are not a group to be taken lightly.
Yes. Remember now, our president has gone into the Kitenge.
Yes.
You understand?
But even the deputy has gone Kitenge.
But I want you to watch.
Okay.
The deputy wears this pipe trousers, you know?
Okay.
That pipe one. I'm struggling with my own children. I say, why can't you not wear something that you look like this one you had many years ago and now you have outgrown. Still, when you put your eyes on this side, now, and you see the deputy wears that, and sometimes it comes in green, sometimes it comes in yellow, and people are like, hallelujah. So there are dynamics that people around Baba should, as they concentrate in insulting people, even consultants like where they insult, and then you tell them, if I turn the other side, you will cry in the toilet, the way you cried in 2013 and 2017, because these things now require, apart from just singing Piogama Pinto, there are new things. When you come here, if you brought the chief chicken seller here, you will see it's just a young man. He has even reduced himself. He can say, I'm sweet, 17 and a half.
So what you guys are saying is that whoever it is that wants to clinch the seat in 2022 has to take note of this particular group.
Correct.
Okay. I want us to listen to what Kitui Governor Charity Ngilu had to say about Raila Odinga and the entire NASA brigade and why they absolutely must work together if at all they want to win.
Looking at all of them, because I've been there before, when you see them talking, you need to look at, therefore, where is the strength of each one of them? A lot of times you find they are speaking, leaders speak very comfortably at the comfort zones of their own communities. Is your community able to actually give you that top seat? All of them, by the way, all of them have tried. Mheshimiwa Kalonzo Musyoka has tried before. Mheshimiwa Musalia has tried before. Mheshimiwa Raila has tried before. But when they came together, quite honestly, they know they did very well, and they know it. So, judging from what has happened in the past, can now each one of them make it alone? I guess not. They will not be able to do so. So I believe, for me, the best thing for them would be to sit again and address this issue without talking at each other.
Okay. They need to stop talking at each other. The same way Weda says people hurl insults at him and all that. But is that a possibility, Weda, from where you sit? That the NASA leaders like you, the two of you say, may actually come together and say, the only way we can win this, and listening into Charity Inclusion says, it's the only way out. And that brings to my mind, and I know you've talked about strategy, you need strategy, you need a good team with you. What will it take? Because everyone seems pointed at defeating Deputy President William Ruto.
Yes.
So one, he must have all the aspects that you guys are talking about.
Yes.
So question two is, what will it take, listening into Ngilu, for these guys to come together, if at all?
As I've said, you need the reality that the chief chicken seller is taking this thing. For now, he has harvested in large quantities what is called sympathy. He has now been left, anything that was not done well by the Jubilee regime, he has been washed clean. He says, oh, we were doing very well until this man from the lake
He actually said in the interview with Sophia.
That is what, when I was in Kiamba, I was talking to young men and like this, and they were telling me, you know this, our man, and I had earlier on, almost earlier pointed out that let's not let the chief chicken seller harvest sympathy.
That has happened.
He has harvested and he continues to harvest it. When you go to Naivasha and you see the president receiving the Safari rally and with Baba and the deputy, you are almost, sometimes even me, you are almost getting to tears. You are saying, surely, even if there were disagreements, this now is too much. You don't do this. There's a point when, So there could be that reality that number two may win. Added to the fear that the president may have that if he wins and he chooses to tell me, keep quiet, tell the president, nyamaza wewe, sasa tunyoroshe kazi, and they know each other, the president can also get desperate. And when he gets desperate, there will be need to look who can win. Maybe at that time, we pray for Honorable Raila to be strong enough. They can look and say, look, the sympathy that the chief chicken seller has harvested, the venom will be directed at you. People think you are the problem. Therefore, between the 3 or 4 of you, who is best? And that one, if that question was be on the table, you'll find that the son of Mululu may come and say, I've always told you I'm a pair. I say a pair of hands. And I think even if you asked Sir William, Doctari, or Doctari, the big boss, your boss, if you ask them and say, suppose you have William here, and you have Raila here, and you have Musale here, and who do you think would be safer? You will be safer in his hands. I'm sure Raila will say, I think I can be very safe in Musalia's hand. I think Ruto also say, I think I can be very safe in Musalia's hand. I'm not saying so that my Luo community accuse me. Now he's supporting Musalia. What I'm saying is, this analysis, even the president given a chance, if he looks around in darkness, and he has 2 choices to throw either Baba or Musalia,
he'll pick Musalia.
He'll say, you know, this son of Bululu, he looks harmless. This other one may be incited by other people.
Okay.
The way I was incited against my deputy, and he remembers the past. We are finished.
You know, there's actually a debate going on, and you know, apart from what Ngilu said, and which probably I'll come to shortly. When the Kamba leaders went to the State House, I think the president also, you know, asked them the very same thing. You guys look around the possibility of you coming together, because I think therein lies your strength, and your strength probably is in numbers if you come together, which is very true. Same thing that Ngilu has also alluded to, that you know what, you people must find a way.
A way.
But you know, having and even as she says that, that's not it yet. There is something still left, because let's face it, and whether he's here, he'll bear as witness. They've been together a few times before, and probably something that may help them is to seek why they've not gotten the coveted prize of the presidency, and probably by that they need to look into the yard book of Honorable His Excellency the President, and his brigade back in 2002 rather, when you know, Kibaki really, the euphoria then of Rainbow and NAC really took KANU apart. They need to find out what happened then,
that they can do
that 10 years later, the same duo who did not clinch the presidency were able to get it. They really need to push and pull where necessary to find out why or what methods, what strategy did the president employ between 2002 and 2013, because therein they can actually learn a few fundamental things that they are not, pursuing. Because let's face it, if they come back, the same way they were, it will be NASA reloaded, and then what? I mean, probably if you look the way they were, they produced oranges. What will give them the coveted prize, the presidency? Yeah. So there is a piece of the puzzle that they must bring along. That one, we probably may not be able to put our finger.
Try.
Yes.
Can you try?
Unless probably they bring in somebody like Senator Gideon Moi, but then again, will the backyard really of Rift Valley come with him all the way? All right? The way people think, or the way, and I'm sorry to say this, but this is just how it is. We still have these tribal blocks. And Linda, sometimes I wonder, when will we ever come to a point whereby we are no longer pushed to leadership because we feel we have a backing of our own tribal blocks, but because we have the support of the majority of Kenyans, people who believe in what we are telling them, people who will believe when we speak to them, people who will believe that the manifesto that we present to them, we are actually going to implement it. And most importantly, that even when we disagree with the people who elected us, that the one thing that will remain constant is that we'll always be truthful to the Kenyan people. Okay. Because as we move towards where Kenya should be, all of us, me and you and Wakili here, we must constantly keep asking, what are we going to leave this country looking like? Remember what Barack Obama told us. Always, 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 when we are pushing in this great life of ours, we always must have it in our back burner, but that we have borrowed this country from our children, not from our forebearers, our children. Imagine if we constantly think, you know what, this country, I've borrowed it from my daughter, and this country, I've borrowed it from my son. I need to conserve it, I need to maintain it, and I need to present to them when I'm leaving this earth of our great Lord. When we are leaving, we are presenting to them something that we worked fine on, giving them a proper print that from where we've left, they'll be able to push back and using us as a guide and saying, you know what, our forefathers did this and it was all right. That is a conversation, Linda, that we must have on a daily basis. Yeah, because, let's face it, Kenya right now, and many people may disagree, but the truth of the matter is Kenya is moving in the right place. Economic notwithstanding, but we are headed. We are not where we were 10 years ago, Linda, and let nobody lie to you. Okay. I keep insisting, back in 20 years ago, somebody in Mandera would tell you this was not there. There were no dialysis machines in hospitals. The roads, the road network, the electricity. The electricity penetration. Kenya was not where it was 10 years ago, and we must respect the fact that we have made strides in the right direction. We may not be where we want to be, but tell you what, Linda, we are not where we used to be. So that is something we need to be actually praising ourselves. Question is, who will come and take us to where we need to be?
Okay.
We
give you support.
The one you give your
Did you see how Linda look at you? How is it? He does not trust you a single bit.
No, but it is the only person who can lead this country well is Baba. Look at what President Uhuru has done. President Uhuru has done very well. They are yapping. They are just yapping in the streets.
I agree
because of a few problems here and there. Otherwise, in terms of laying a basis for success, for growth, President Uhuru has done very well. It's only that he doesn't want his deputy to also claim. Otherwise, that's the only part he's missing. He should have said the Jubilee administration has done relatively well. There have been mistakes here and there, which can be. But if you look at it overall, with the pandemic, just look at the way even the pandemic was handled. The president did pretty well. He has done well. Some countries, even Trump was defeated. It got it wrong. It's only that the other day they went to Kisumu and jumped around. Now people die. They went to Mombasa now.
That's very
but
unfortunate.
otherwise,
Yeah.
he did well.
Okay.
Strong.
Hold on. I want us to stay with the Deputy President, William Ruto, and Kiambu County Woman Representative Gathoni Wamuchomba, a Team Keleweke member and a die-hard supporter of the handshake, joined the Tanga faction of Deputy President William Ruto. Two other MPs from Nakuru County also joined Team Ruto as he continues his raid in President Uhuru Kenyatta's support base. So in a swift reaction, Nyeri Town Member of Parliament Wambugu Ngujiri termed Wamuchomba's departure a major blow. I want us to listen to what Deputy President had to say about his preferred political vehicle.
Kwa sababu wanafikiria wakiunganisha hizo chama ati sisi mahasla tutakosa chama ya kutupeleka mbele. Sisi tunataka kuambia my friends, sisi tuko masaa na tuko rada na tuko chonjo.
Aye, tuko masaa, tuko rada, tuko chonjo. So as we are speaking of one side forming coalitions and alliances towards 2022, Deputy President William Ruto says, sisi tuko masaa. And as a matter of fact, the people defecting from Jubilee to Deputy President William Ruto's side. Mudhuma, let me begin with you. Should that worry Jubilee? How much of a headache should this give Jubilee? No. Or is this what they say, the transfer window is open?
First of all, yes, you're very correct. I mean, that's a good statement. The transfer window is indeed open, and as we see, expect defections, expect people to jump from one party to the other, expect a little bit changes. That is coming. That's going to be happening between now and probably March of probably 2022. That's how I envision it to be, and this is my own views. But there's something else, Linda, that we should not fail to actually understand. And the picture, that is getting painted now is we have a politician who is of no mean repute in the person of the Deputy President. There were times where he said he had a major problem with how affairs were being run in Jubilee. And the party leadership, led by the deputy vice of the party, David Murathe, had actually said he's persona non grata. They threw him out. Yeah, he alluded to that. And there are some other things that happened. Even when he went to Jubilee, you saw the fiasco, you saw the chaos that happened. And I think at that particular point, being a politician of, like I said, no mean repute, he decided, I need a vehicle. I just need a very strong backup. Now, that strong backup, has already won some serious seats. And so he
And Weda says going by what you saw in Kiamba.
Yeah. Linda, let me tell you something. I have never seen a person who won a political seat when they undermined their opponent. Even in war, rarely will you ever see a person winning a war when they undermine their enemy.
Okay.
All right? It is always good and to your advantage when you know their strengths and you learn their weaknesses. But the issue of just pushing them down, not trying to understand them, thinking that you are the, what was the name we used to use, the Macmende of the day? No, sometimes that can really work against you. And you can go as far as you want to break the history books. Somebody who had set a great army, like, what Hitler had did. He did a mistake of not understanding the Russian military, and look what they did to him. So that's what I'm saying. The strategy, when employed properly, it will force you to understand or to look at your opponent and look at his strengths and, and more than anything, you respect them. Because either way, at the end of the day, you may actually find that you're looking up to him after the loss. And so it should not be an entitlement that you think you are the only one ready to win this. Okay. So that is what I'm saying. I think we need to be alive to the fact that the window has opened. And Deputy President has said he has taken this vehicle called UDA. Now, the problem is he is still in Jubilee as the deputy president.
Yeah.
That is a constitutional guarantee. So up until he resigns, and many people are asking him, since you know, this UDA of yours seems to have given you a lot of strength, why don't you do the honorable thing and resign? His politician astuteness kicks in when you ask him that question. Because it's like, UDA is
an affiliate party
of Jubilee. How dicey. But again, that is what politics, has taught us. If you look at it, legally he's within the confines of Jubilee. Now, until Jubilee really pushes that UDA out of Jubilee, how can they do that? I think Weda legally can tell us how they can do that. But as of now, I think this is where you hear somebody telling you he will enjoy the fruits of Jubilee until the wheels fall off.
Yeah. Okay, I want us to put on air the graphics, just talking about, focusing on the sentiments of Ngunjiri Wambugu, Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru, and Ndindi Nyoro as well. So as we look at that, whether Ngunjiri Wambugu said Jubilee has heavy lifting to fix this party. He does not think people are willing to do that. Kirinyaga Governor Anne Waiguru said, we need to stop the hemorrhage within Jubilee. There are party bureaucrats not in touch with the party. Ndindi Nyoro says there are talks to several leaders and major transfers are expected. And you've just been here telling us about Kiambaa and how disgruntled people are with the Jubilee party. So what reasons were they giving you? Because like Gabriel Muduma says, the transfer window is open. You're likely to see more of this happening.
I think one of the things which is very clear, we have spent almost 30 years demonizing Honorable Raila.
Okay.
You have then to go back and tell those people that the demon has been baptized, is now an angel. That has not happened. Secondly, you have seen the chief chicken seller wearing a cap and talking to Korada, to Konjea, to Konini. Now, when you send these other people, surely there's no connect. The president, they say, is not there. They say the Jubilee is not. And actually, I also saw the Jubilee candidate. Very cold and very cold, and they're going. So the part that people don't realize that you should, the listeners should know, when you see people defect to UDA, and you are saying we need to introspect, President Uhuru is not running as a candidate again.
Yeah, he's on record saying.
Oh, yes, and he is a prince. You know a prince? He's not a hustler. He waits for things to be ready, and the way they were ready, and then he came in, and as a prince he had advantages, and the hustler had to support him. And he's president. When things are thick, he may try to push even Honorable Raila. But he will not sweat and oversweat and smell. There's a level he says, come on, gumu, bye. So this defection should worry Honorable Musalia Mudavadi. He should be saying, why are they not coming to ANC? They should worry Kalonzo Musyoka. Why are they not coming to Wiper? They should worry Dr. Gideon. Why are they not coming to Kano? Why are they just going to this fellow? What is he doing that we are not doing? They should worry Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga. Why are these guys not coming to ODM? These are the people. Let them not think that the president would be worried. The president is finishing his term. He is more worried about this Gorofa road from Westlands to the airport. That's what worries him. He is more worried about paying workers and counties. But because he wants stability, he doesn't want anybody to make noise. So if Baba is there's some rally to be watched, he says, Baba, come. But what worries the president is his legacy in terms of concrete achievement. That is one. Two, what may worry him? Will I be safe after I leave? I'm telling you, the deputy president and the president, they went through fire and brimstone together. They are touched at the hip. He would not mind just walking to say, Sir William, ukijukua kitu, watoto ndio hawa, chunga. So, as these people work, let them look at some of these factors and decide who amongst us will be an acceptable candidate that will face this man that is now selling to people. I was betrayed. Mimi nilikuwa na Raila, I put him prime minister. he kicked me out. I was with Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta, made him president, he kicked me out. Now, my hustlers have decided, Nisisi.
It's our time.
And then, those people, one thing I had, you see this thing of dynasties, it is so deep. It is so deep. Luckily, some of them could recognize, but they say, wewe ulikuwa na uhuru. Wakati huu, I say, bado bindi kuna uhuru mpaka mwisho. But that dynasty thing, they need to go and have a conference with Mheshimiwa Ruto and tell him, Bwana, this thing can divide this country and ban this country. Let's stop this word of dynasty. Let's just compete on policies and the future of this country. Those people are bitter. There are young people who think that their poverty is caused by the dynasties. And they're sad. And they don't want those who have wealth. They don't want those people who seem to have eaten well. They are like, so their support is not basically Kikuyu, Luo, Kisii, Kamba. We are going to divide ourselves, the rich versus the poor. Now that has brought down countries. And what I found very interesting, they don't consider the deputy president rich. They think he's one of them who is struggling, poor, has come up from zero, but when they consider others, they say, they have been eating since independence. So that has to be addressed. And we keep on praying that we do not divide this country on the basis of economics. It is even better to be divided in terms of tribe. Because after politics, we just forget.
Yeah, I forget.
With Mudume, I don't know your tribe. But on voting, we can divide. But when it is economics,
then there's a problem.
I will even go to the parking lot and do something good to your car. Just out of frustration and anger. Something, yes. Even salt, even if I'm washing it. Salt in the carburetor. That is more dangerous. That's why I'm saying, I appeal also to the deputy president. Please, let's not do politics that seems to divide this country on the economic basis. It is sad, we can all ban.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. Let me just support him for 1 minute. I agree with him when he talks about, trying or bringing the politics of the haves and the have-nots. I think that will be more disastrous to this country than anything else, because that will bring about people thinking, where I am in life or what I have not gotten in life is because of that person who has. And that is not only dangerous to the people who have, but even to any other person who has a legit small business. They will be destroyed because somebody along the road will think, wait a minute, that guy has a soda kiosk and it's not big, but why don't I have that? In fact, you'll bring a lot of pain. People thinking that those who have, are having it at the detriment of us, and that's why we do not have. And that's very bad reasoning to think, to even think of. Linda, I think there are so many examples that we can give, globally, of countries that kind of went that route and they never found their footing again. To me, the thing would be, instead of talking of the haves and the have-nots, and really I've not had any politicians who will take that direction, is for us to see that if Linda comes out from a slum called Mukuru Kwajenga and Gabriel comes from the suburbs of this city, that both of them, when presented with the opportunity, same opportunity, the thing that will set them apart is their drive to get. And once the social setup is intact, the drive should be that the government has raised the bar to support both our growths. In that, when we find ourselves at the highest level of achievement, what will set us apart is the choices we made. Not because the government guaranteed you more than it did me. And that is why you see these great countries, a son of a peasant can rise to become anything they want in society. It is because society is wired to support their growth.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
That's deep, eh? Actually, that's deep. Yes, excellent.
Okay, listen.
Nice.
Who is that? What have you said?
I was just giving an example of the suburbs.
Philosophizing.
Trust me, Linda does not live in Bitongo Jiduni.
Linda eats
okay.
4 meals a day.
But you need to read. You need to read about Linda. She came from the pipes, man.
Okay, we're not going to talk about music. So listen, listen to Deputy President William Ruto again. And this has something to do with the interview that he had with my colleague Sophia Wanuna on Crossfire. And he was put to task on the status of Jubilee now that coalitions coming up towards 2022. I want us to listen to what the Deputy President had to say when Sophia asked him about the state of Jubilee. How stable is it? Let's listen in.
I am part of that leadership. You know, I cannot apportion blame maybe to my boss. There are people who our party leader trusted to run the affairs of the party. Unfortunately, I believe they've let him down, and in the process, they've destroyed the party, unfortunately, right? I tried to step in, and when I saw that we weren't making the right decisions. But then when I went to the party headquarters,
Yes.
it was construed, you know, in a very ridiculous manner to say I wanted to take over the party. Jubilee is badly damaged. You know, the hemorrhage. We have never had a party retreat. We've never had a party meeting. We've never had a party PG, except the PGs that have been called to expel members. You know, there has never been a constructive engagement. You know, and our party is built on trust. It is built on engagement. You must work with people. You must not underestimate people. You must not look down, you know. Even the smallest in the party have something to say.
What are the clearest indication yet that perhaps Deputy President William Ruto is on his way out of Jubilee? He says there are people within Jubilee Party that have messed up the party. A Jubilee Party is badly damaged. Listening into Deputy President William Ruto, what are the options that Jubilee now has to survive, A, as a party, and B, the option that perhaps William Ruto would sit back and say it's a party that can be revived if at all?
The survival of a party depends whether it wants to take power again.
Do you think there's that
Who
possibility?
wants to take power through Jubilee?
Okay.
Who is there? As long as President Uhuru is...
Are you indirectly saying Jubilee is gone?
Those who are also trying to push out the Deputy President, I think Jubilee would have a lifeline if the BBI succeeds and the Constitution is amended and there are several powers for centers. We have the President, we have the Prime Minister, we have all this. Then now there will be interplay. Okay. We can't even say, as Atuli says, the President is too young, he's going nowhere. Then you say, become Prime Minister, like Russia.
Yeah.
You understand that? But now, the way it is, as it is today, if the BBI does not succeed, then you're either president or a deputy president, or a cabinet secretary, or all these others. And that leaves President Uhuru out. If he's out, I don't think he's going to put in his 5, 10, 15 billion shillings just running around. The other thing you must always look at history to enable you to judge the future. These guys do not go for elections using the same party. Since multi-party.
So in other words, Jubilee.
They keep on. So I think just like TNA was closed and UDA and CORD was closed and NASA is being closed, there will be another handshake party of Kenya or handbridge party or something. So Jubilee is just a name. It is not people. People, when you talk about Jubilee, you are talking about Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and you are talking about William Ruto. If they changed and say, we call ourselves ABC. People like when they say, ABC is the best party that has ever happened in Eastern Central Africa. If Baba said, it is no longer ODM.
It is this one.
It is handshake. People, we are in handshake. So, let's not worry about the names and the parties. Look at where the leadership is going. If President Uhuru is going back to Jubilee, there will be Jubilee.
But he said he's going home.
If he's going home, then there will be home party. And the others must reorganize themselves. They should pray very hard, not from the forests, that something good happens over BBI. And there's a referendum and BBI is implemented. If it is not, let them also be open to the son of Joe. One day waking up and say, I've seen my barabara from Westlands to this place and all these things I've done. Let me rest. Who's going to protect me? He look around and say, Sir William, the Gypsy Gazella, we went to him together. My children are in your hands. I'm going home. And you never know with the world. So those who are insulting others, be careful. Be careful. I am telling you, the only thing, if President Uhuru is not going to continue in power, is to ask himself, in whose hands
will I be safe?
Will I be safe and my family? And then there are also some people around him who will also say, yeah. And I know once that is settled, please don't worry about this. They'll just die. The parties will just die. Even if today Baba himself says, I'm not running for president, you will see ODM just dying like that. And Wakenaweda coming up with other powerful parties saying, now 2032, let's focus. Now, and people will be like, we have been waiting. So people also are like a bag of potatoes. You know, wanjiku. They're like a bag. You put them here, you carry them. Then you put them there, you carry. I've said this before.
Okay.
This is not my first time. I say. So you carry them, you put them. You carry them, you take them to the handshake, they are in. You remove them from the handshake, you put them into T-beam, they are in. You put them out like that. So I always ask Kenyans, please do not kill anybody for the sake of these politicians because they are friends. They are good friends. The day Honorable Raila chose to do a handshake, he didn't pray over it. He didn't call a mass or a rally. He just walked and he said, Son of Domo, you know, my father and your father used to have a common bank account together at Bank of India. And they used to sign, hey, and they shook hands. Now, people like Weda whose parents didn't know each other. You are there saying, oh, no, we refuse. I said. So even the chief chicken seller, he would easily walk to the son of Joe. He would easily walk to Raila and say, Bona Raila, can you do presidency at 3 years? Then I take over from there, and you'll be surprised. We have worked together for the sake of my country, for the sake of whatever. What is there is don't worry about the parties. Every Kenyan should just worry about the stability of the country, prosperity of the country, and prosperity of his people. Trying to kill one another for these individuals. You will die ahead of them. They'll come and bury you. They'll do politics, campaign for seats. There, get the seats, they bury you again, and they continue.
I remember, it was in Geshu Governor Mandago said, don't ever put politics in your heart, put it in your lungs. Weka kwa lungs. Ukimaliza unafanya na unaenda na unasonga.
You know, this one I will move away from Weda's thinking. Because, and by the way, Linda, in any way, shape, or form, I'm not fantasizing with any party or coalition. But I think we had moved away from these tribal parties when NASA became a coalition and Jubilee also became a coalition, because really what they did was they took many parties that they sold their manifesto to and they were joined. They joined that coalition based on that. And I would really like to believe that is what went behind the curtains. And that's why for the longest I thought, and really I was actually very happy. You know, at that time, yes, I really liked Jubilee. I was wanting to see how Jubilee was going. I was reading their manifesto day and night. And it was a party I was like, you know, these are people I can be identified with. And I know so many of my friends, you know, who really thought, you know, NASA was an amazing vehicle, and people had started talking about coalitions that, you know, will transcend one electoral cycle. And so coming in, many people had actually put in their energy, just like what the Deputy President said, and really something that the President has even alluded to in his first term. There was a time he said, Jubilee is going to be here for 20 years or so. And so I started thinking, even when I used to see Jubilee sending people to understand how the Communist Party of China are working. They sent a delegation to China. They sent a delegation to South Africa to see how ANC was working. There was one that went to see how CCM, was. And so I thought we had departed from these small individuals, because sometimes I feel they are the problems. They bring bigger problems, let me say, the problems with an S, than these big coalitions. How Jubilee was even set, you could tell. Even the officials did not come from a particular place. Even in TNA, it was well structured. People were placed within, and you could look at these parties and say, "Wow, you can see the face of Kenya, if you will." And so again, not to fantasize, I thought this was the way to go. Okay. Now, when you set up coalitions, we do not say that you permanently belong to one. I know people who've changed allegiance, as much as from great and grand parties, even in greater democracy like ours. And this, I can give an example of the United States. You've had people who've left the Republican Party and they've joined to the Democratic Party. It's all about looking at them. Where are your interests well presented? And you join them based not because of somebody who's leading that particular party at that moment. You're joining them because of what they believe in and probably what they are working on. And so look at when Obama strengthened the former president, when he strengthened Obamacare, the Health Care Act. Many Republicans actually jumped to the Democratic Party because they could not understand how that was possible. But indeed, the power of doability was strengthened by this young president who said it is possible, even if we've not been able to do it for 150 years. So that is the mentality that I thought, this was it. Yeah. Now, is there an issue? It's a question you had posed to Eda, and I followed also the interview that this media house carried with the deputy president. He is saying honestly things that have not happened, and it's not only him speaking. Governor of Kirinyaga, Waiguru, has actually talked about the same concern. The MP for Nyeri town has also talked about the same very problem. We need to do more, or they need to do more, to see how they can strengthen this great coalition called the Jubilee. And I would be very happy if they can succeed. Because it can also, no, Linda, seriously, I would actually be very happy if NASA succeeds to come back. Okay. You know why? Then we'll stop this gerrymandering with small. NASA and Jubilee. Yes, back why not? Why not? Why not? See, he's laughing, but let me tell you, if any of these coalitions would be built up to actually take care of what Wakili Weda here honestly and fervently believes in, he will join one of the coalitions. He will. Okay. Because he knows, just like what Charity Ngilu is saying, that when you bring up your minds, you're able to do more and have a far more outreach than when you do it alone. Okay. That is something that we need to keep preaching. And by the way, my faith has not been wavered, because I believe, even if it's not us, I know someday in this great country of ours, we will have great and very mighty coalitions that people will be able to join based on their manifesto and what they believe in. All right. Than these vehicles that take us from one election to the other.
Whether you get the final word.
All I can say is that the problem is not the political parties. The problem is Mwanjiku himself, Achieng herself. People who vote on the basis of tribe, party, na kitu kidogo, gonya kidogo. So they don't care. This manifesto, policies, whatever, and whatever, to be untied. To untie. So, you see, when Baba goes and says, no, there's Tsunami, and the Chieng says, now it has come. Until Wanjiku will say, enough. This is the leadership we want. This is who can provide it. These are the credentials. This is tried and tested. Otherwise, for me, I want these parties to be folded, because you go to Lula and they tell you must be no ODM, or you will not provide leadership. And the ODM has been there. The children who were born when the ODM was formed, they will turn into voters very soon, and now they believe it's only ODM. So close these parties so that other people have a chance, afresh, until one day we are able to have voting based on manifesto.
But we must start somewhere, Wakili.
We will start.
We must start.
When this tribal
we
chieftains
must start
are
where we can start with Jubilee.
For me,
and
I
us.
supported. I didn't support Jubilee. I didn't support TNA. I was supporting Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and William Samoei Ruto.
You know,
if they moved, I would move.
But you know, you are supporting them you are supporting their parties indirectly.
No. We formed the party. Don't think yes, we formed it. So we were saying we support Linda. Then Linda, which vehicle do you need? We find whether it is Subaru or it is Toyota.
Subaru,
we put you in that.
Subaru.
We decided. So even now. This is like ODM has been there for long. Anytime we talk about ODM, we need them close to the new
we start
parties.
afresh. Okay.
And we start afresh.
No.
Okay, all right. So we need to end this conversation. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us on Checkpoint this evening. Gabriel Muthuma, thank you for.
You know you cannot.
I need to wrap up
broadcast. No, but we must talk about Safari Rally. It is an amazing thing that it happened, and guess what? It doesn't end there. 2026. Oh, come on! How many businesses? How many businesses? Wow, how many?
I need to wrap up.
That's a serious economy that was built in Naivasha. Hey, stop joking around.
Gabriel Muthuma, thank you so much.
Just because you don't own a Subaru.
They were talking about somebody.
Gabriel Muthuma, political analyst, thank you so much for your time. And Ambrose Sued as well, thank you for always making time for Checkpoint. Okay, you guys can go on with your Safari Rally and whatever it is you want. Good night, people. Sleep well. Have a good week.